still here.
Everything's all right?
Snow falls. Why worry where it goes? Mai thinks the snowflakes are pretty. Much snow in Skyrim. Enough snow. Mai does not want any more. Skyrim was once the land of many butterflies. Now, not so much. Maik is tired.
I'll have your head!
Yeah? Got to thinking. Maybe I'm the Dragonborn. Just don't know it yet.
I've got your back. What do you want me to carry? You lead. I'll follow.
I'd be a lot warmer and a lot happier with a belly full of meat.
Oh, pardon me. Was I in your way? I hope someday we'll get to know each other better. It's for sale if you've got the coin. That's your best offer? I suppose so. She's the one with the saddle. My pa used to say, there ain't no use worrying about the things you can't change. If it's my fate to be ended by a dragon, so be it. Meantime, I'll live my life the way I want to. Sometimes the difference between life and death is a swift steed.
We got a nickname for anyone who trifles with us guards here in Windhelm. Suicide. Everything's all right? The Dunmer gets their drinks at the new Nissa's Corner Club. Why they can't just call it a tavern is beyond me. This is Stormcloak territory. If you're one of those craven Imperials, don't expect a warm welcome.
You come here where you're not wanted. You eat our food, you pollute our city with your stink, and you refuse to help the Stormcloaks.
We haven't taken a side because it's not our fight.
Hey, maybe the reason these Greyskins don't help in the war is because they're Imperial spies.
Imperial spies? You can't be serious.
Maybe we'll pay you a visit tonight, little spy. We got ways of finding out what you really are.
Do you hate the Dark Elves? Are you here to bully us and tell us to leave? You've come to the wrong city, then. Windhelm's a haven of prejudice and narrow thinking, unworthy of one such as you. Some of these Nords will come up with any excuse to despise us. And it isn't just the Dark Elves they hate. They make a target of the Argonians as well. In fact, just about anyone who isn't a Nord is fair game for their bullying. Nothing new there. Most of the Nords living in Windhelm don't care much for us. But Rolf is the worst by far. He likes to get drunk and walk around the Grey Quarter yelling insults at us in the small hours of the morning. Oh, a real charmer, that one. Safe travels.
The divine smile flows on your shoulders.
Be on the lookout. The butcher could be around any corner.
I've got your back. You go on ahead.
Let's get going. Go on ahead. I'll stand guard.
Ugh. Been tending to your hounds? Smell like a wet dog.
What is it?
Won't give us a straight answer.
He's a true Nord. He'll come around.
Don't be so sure of that. We've intercepted couriers from Solitude. The Empire's putting a great deal of pressure on Whiterun.
And what would you have me do?
If he's not with us, he's against us.
He knows that. They all know that.
How long are you going to wait?
You think I need to send Bolgraf a stronger message?
If by message you mean shoving a sword through his gullet.
Yeah? Taking his city and leaving him in disgrace would make a more powerful statement, don't you think?
So we're ready to start this war in earnest then?
Soon.
I still say you should take them all out like you did dead King Torrig.
Torrig was merely a message to the other Jarls. Whoever we replace them with will need the support of our armies.
We're ready when you are.
Things hinge on Whiterun. If we can take the city without bloodshed, all the better. But if not...
The people are behind you.
Many, I fear, still need convincing.
Then let them die with their false kings.
We've been soldiers a long time. We know the price of freedom. But people are still weighing things in their hearts.
What's left of Skyrim to wager?
They have families to think of.
How many of their sons and daughters follow your banner? We are their families.
Well put, friend. Tell me, Galmar, why do you fight for me?
I'd follow you into the depths of oblivion. You know that.
Yes, but why do you fight? If not for me, what then?
I'll die before elves dictate the fates of men. Are we not one in this?
I fight for the men I've held in my arms, dying on foreign soil. I fight for their wives and children whose names I heard whispered in their last breath. I fight for we few who did come home, only to find our country full of strangers wearing familiar faces. I fight for my people, impoverished to pay the debts of an empire too weak to rule them, yet brands them criminals for wanting to rule themselves. I fight so that all the fighting I've already done hasn't been for nothing. I fight because I must.
Your words give voice to what we all feel, Ulfric. And that's why you will be High King. But the day words are enough will be the day when soldiers like us are no longer needed.
I would gladly retire from the world, were such a day to dawn.
Aye, but in the meantime, we have a war to plan. I'm not sure you belong here, friend.
Only the foolish or the courageous approach a Jarl without summons. Do I know you? Ah, yes. Destined for the chopping block, if I'm not mistaken. Railof's alive. I hope that's true. He's a damn good man, but he hasn't returned yet. So I'll need to wait for his account. For now, speak with Galmar. I'm always looking for able fighters. Not everyone can say they've made it out of Helgen. Seems we're all branded villains these days. So long as your criminal past stays in the past, and you fight for me with honor and integrity, we'll welcome you into our ranks.
Helgen, huh? Ulfric told us quite the story. If you made it through all that, you're likely worth something to me. Yeah, but first, tell me, why does a foreigner want to fight for Skyrim? Fair enough, but are you willing to die for your home? All right. But before I can put you to use, I need to know how much you can take. I have a little test for you. That's what I like to hear. So long as you can back up those words with steel. I'm sending you to Serpentstone Island. If you survive, you pass. If you die, well, you weren't going to be much use to me anyway. It's where men have tested their metal for ages. It's a strange rock formation, built by the ancients. Something about that place attracts the ice wraiths. You kill an ice wraith out there, and I'll have all the proof I need about you. Only the ones I'm not sure about. This will prove your abilities, but more importantly, it will prove your commitment. We'll see about that, won't we? Here, take this. You'll need it. Use it on the island. Don't lose it. That's all the help you're getting. Try not to die. What? We've got nothing to talk about until you come back from Serpentstone Isle.
I'm not much of a strategist, but Lord Ulfric listens to my counsel all the same. If you have any news of the Western Holds, take it to Ulfric immediately. For Ulfric? Well, nothing official. Known him for years. He seems to value my thoughts, and I'm grateful for that. I don't really have a mind for war, and I think he likes having an untrained opinion from time to time. Grew up here, cold as at Mora, but that just grows the beard thicker. Lot of history in these walls. We're trying to make some more. It's a lucky time to be alive. Travel safely. It's dangerous out there. Stay away from the Aretino residence. That place is cursed.
We going? Lead the way.
A few septims for supper.
Be a lot warmer and a lot happier with a belly full of meat.
We heading in? Let's get going.
I ask only for a little charity. Will you spare a few coins to help someone who's...
Let's get going. What do you need to take? Let's go.
I've got your back. What do you want me to carry? Let's get going then.
Everyone says Yorland Greymane is the best smith in Skyrim. I plan to change a few minds about that. Need some metal hammered. Of course I am. What do I look like, a tavern wench? Don't let my words cut you too deep. I've just been working the forge too hard, trying to set this sword right. Jarl wants it to look like an ancient blade. High Queen Fridis ruled over Windhelm in the Second Era, and her sword was legendary. Getting the real sword would be even better than making a copy, but no one wants to risk getting it from its resting place. If you find that sword, Traveler, I'd be grateful. I don't see these troubles as business. This is a labor of honor. To bring Ulfric his rightful glory, I would hammer 1,000 shields. Short bones. I might just have to. Every bit as sharp as what you find in Whiterun. I respect Jorland, but he has the good fortune to work the Skyforge. Something about the fires. Their steel just holds tighter. If that makes any sense. Looking to protect yourself, or deal some damage? Don't forget, you find Queen Freydis' sword. I'll reward you.
Working in Windhelm is great. I get to see Ulfric up close. Every Nord should admire Ulfric. He fights for all of us. In fact, he's the reason I chose to learn the smithing trade. I want to make weapons and armor for the great Stormcloak army. Smithing isn't the most exciting thing for me, but we all have to lend a hand as best we can. If a Stormcloak uses one of my swords to strike down an Imperial soldier, then I've done my part to free our land. A word of advice, don't buy discounted armor.
I'll be fine.
Master, you're far too old for this sort of journey. We don't know what's inside.
I can... just...
You see, you're not well. Have a seat, and I'll fetch you some tonic.
Oh, if there was a tonic that could help me, I would have found it by now. I'm so close to the answer. Just a man's life work is all. I finally derived the location of the White Phial, but this doting busybody won't let me get it. You would do that? It's good to know there are some people out there who are willing to help an old man. It's buried with its maker, Coralville, in a long-forsaken cave to the west of here. Coralville was a crafty one, even in death. You would need the skills of a master alchemist to reach its resting place. Luckily for you, I've already made the mixture. Here, take it. Please, don't dally. I've wasted enough time arguing with my useless assistant here. I've spent my entire life searching for it. It brought me all the way to these frozen reaches from the warm embrace of Somerset Isle. Entire years spent in libraries, seeking out tiny villages with local legends that contain but a whisper of a hint of the Phial. I even named my shop after it, hoping that it might attract anyone who had heard of it. And now it's within my grasp. But the Eight, it seems, have chosen me for their amusement. For in my current condition, I'll never be able to lay my hands on it. The legendary bottle, forged in the days when Skyrim was just starting its turn to ice. A small container made of the magically infused snow that first fell on the throat of the world. It is said that the phial will replenish whatever fluid is placed inside of it. For an alchemist like myself, it is the most pure expression of my art. To create from nothingness is poetry. Why are you still standing around here? Go get me the phial, you fool!
Everyone says Yorland Greymane is the best smith in Skyrim.
Name's Nils. I'm the cook up at Camp Hall.
I made my fortune as a sea captain, but now I'm retired. There's an author named Adonato staying at the inn. He's published a few works of historical fiction. The clans Shattershield and Cruel Sea see most of the gold that passes through the city. And obviously you have Ulfric, the Jarl and future High King. Oh, and that busybody Viola Giordano. She's got her nose in everyone's business, which I guess is one way of being prominent. Well, nothing. At least not anymore. Folk just call me that because of what I used to do. I was a sailor for many a year. I made my coin as a trader, and in time, I bought my own ship. When I retired here in Windhelm, most folk already knew me as Captain Lonelygale, and the name just stuck. If you're looking to pass the time, you can give Calixto a few septims and gawk at whatever oddity he's come across lately. If you're in need of goods, there's a market. If it's a soft bed and a hot meal you're after, there's Candlehearth Hall. Terrible shame that. Seems we have a killer on the loose here in Windhelm. He's claimed 3 victims that I know of, though maybe there's more that haven't been found yet. All lovely ladies too. Let's hope the gods find that demon soon and introduce him to the headman's axe. Fair winds and calm seas. That's an old sailor's party. The Imperials think we need their laws. What is it? Dragons?
Be on the lookout. The butcher could be around any corner.
I thought the Grey Quarter would be a haven for my kind. I was wrong. Not a day goes by that I don't think about returning to the ancestral home of my people. Still, even with the rough treatment we've had at the hands of Ulfric and his lot, I've got ties here. It's probably more trouble to pack up and leave than it is to stay. Besides, Amberus can't run the Corner Club on his own. Windhelm is divided into 4 quarters. The Grey Quarter is the one that's home to all the city's dark elves. If it looks to you like an impoverished slum, that's because it is. Ulfric prefers that we live in squalor. He has nothing but disdain for anyone who isn't a Nord. He tolerates us, but that's the extent of his hospitality. You've seen how we live. Cramped alleys, run-down buildings, few guard patrols. Even the name Grey Quarter.
Let's get going.
The Dunmer get their drinks at the new Nis's Corner Club. Why they can't just call it a tavern is beyond me.
Jerem is a fine house, and it's up for sale. You should talk to the steward in the keep if you're interested.
I'm right behind you.
Disrespect the law, and you disrespect me.
I'm still here. What do you need to take? Let's go.
I'm right behind you. What do you want me to carry? Lead on.
I hope someday... each other better.
I'm still here.
I'm on my way to Windhelm to join up with the Stormcloaks. Ulfric has the right of it.
Yeah?
Nord's armor has lots of fur. This sometimes makes Maik nervous. Some say Alduin is Akatosh. Some say Maik is a liar. Don't you believe either of those things? Maik was soul-trapped once. Not very pleasant. You should think about that once in a while. Maik is tired now. Go bother somebody else. Maik is done talking.
I'm right behind you.
Let's get going. What do you need to take? Lead on, then. We've stopped. What is it? What do you need to take? Let's go.
Still here? What do you want me to carry? Let's get going then.
I'm still here. What do you need to take? Let's go. I'm still here. What do you need to take? Let's go. I'm still here. What do you need to take? Let's go.
oath.
What is it? Dragons? They say Ulfric Stormcloak murdered the High King. With his
Mike is done talking.
shouted.
How can I assist? Hmm? The warm sand of elsewhere is far away from here.
May the sun warm your path.
Bandits harass the caravans at every step, but Khajiit usually scare them off. A few days ago we were ambushed. A nuisance, really. but many of the marauders had quick fingers. One of them stole my moon amulet, given to me by my mother when I was just a cub. It is my only memory of home in this cold land. You are kind to offer. We believe the bandits are part of a group headquartered here. Be careful. I missed my amulet. But a life cannot be replaced as easily. Skyrim is filled with all manner of dangerous beasts. Wolves, trolls, mammoths, and giants would all like to make a meal of us. But the dragons are the most fearsome. Lucky for us, they don't seem to hunt along the roads. Yes, I was hired to protect the others as we walk the roads of Skyrim. It is a thankless task, and I would rather be back home than elsewhere, but I have little choice. Akari freed me from a prison in Cyrodiil, and now I must repay my debt to her. A word of advice, my friend. Do not mix gambling and drink. Taken together, they will empty your pockets of every septim. May your road lead you to warm sands.
How can I assist?
Bring your coins, but do not bring trouble.
Hail, friend. It's good to see another merry soul enjoying this fine day. Ah, but you look tired. Come, share a bottle of hunting brew mead with me. Ah, nothing like fine spirits to help raise your... well, your spirits. Cheers, my friend. May your adventures find you fame and fortune.
The Imperials think us all lawless beasts. I'm proof of their ignorance. You hear the news? There's a dragon roosting up on Mount Anthor, to the northwest. Bit late to be wandering around, isn't it? You should unload some of that unwanted gear. Head over to Sodri's used wares. Talk to the elf.
Go back to Morrowind, you dark elf maggots. You're not welcome here.
If it's bed or board you're after, Candlehearth Hall's got both.
Alchemy is simple. Unless, of course, you were simple. Then, I can't help you. Must you bother me now? I've almost figured out where it is. This, it matches every description of the file that I've found in lore. But if it can't hold liquid, there's no way of knowing. How did you manage to damage it, then? This is what I get for not retrieving it myself. Figures. I doubt you have sufficient knowledge to harm the file, even if you wanted to. Either way, this is the end of it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm not quite in the mood to entertain guests. I trust you can show yourself out. Here's for your trouble.
We've stopped. What is it?
I want to thank you for your help. I know my master can be a bit short at times. Here, you should have this. Even though the file was damaged, I still think your efforts deserve reward. Now, if you'll pardon me, I'm going to tend to Norellian. I can make his final days a bit less painful.
Hold it there. Keep your distance.
Spare a coin for a poor old woman.
Another girl killed. This is Susanna, from Candlehearth Hall. Served me a drink just a few nights ago. But I can't say I knew her. Same as the others. Looks like she was stabbed and then cut apart. It's like an animal got to her. But these are the wounds of a blade. Susanna's the third. It's always the same. Young girl killed at night, body torn up. We're stretched thin as it is with the war. Nobody has the time to spend on this. Not pleasant, but it's the truth.
I ask only for a little charity.
If you want to help, ask some of these gawkers if they saw anything useful. I'm going to examine the body before the rats can get to it. My cousin's out fighting dragons, and what do I get? Guard duty.
Always sad when someone has to die. Sorry, I thought I saw a fellow running away, but didn't get a good look at him.
Another one. Terrible. I heard a scream and came running, but she was already like this when I got here.
The Imperials think we need their laws.
This is a shame. No, sorry. But I did notice that her coin purse was still intact, so whoever did this wasn't after gold. I'm going to keep preparing the body, if you'll excuse me.
Have to keep my eyes open. Damn dragons could swoop down at any time. Stay away from the Aretino residence. The place is cursed. Just like always, nobody saw anything useful. The bastards escaped again. Look, friend. If you think you can do better than the Legion of Guards, be my guest. You'll need to talk to the steward, though. We can't just let anyone go around claiming to be an official business. If he's willing, then we'll talk.
I ask only for a little charity. I hope the wind dies down a bit before tonight. Hard when you've got to sleep outside. Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart. The divines smile on a charitable soul.